What's up, everybody? So today, yesterday, yesterday I was watching. I even put my foot up like an old guy. I'm not that old yet, though. So anyway, we have a Monte Cristo Espada Oscuro today. And this one there's the Espada, and then there's the Espada Oscuro, and the Espada Oscuro is a more robust version of the Espada, which was really good. So while I gotta get my coffee. All right. So I was watching. Chaos yesterday on Netflix. It just came out. Binged the whole thing. And you know one thing that I learned? I think this is the thing. So we guys try to figure out what these women, want from us, don't want from us, and we try to, us guys, we're gonna try to do everything we can to, at least if you're a guy, not trying to bolster your own self-esteem. If you're a regular guy, like a real guy, like a proper gentleman, you know that women are a luxury. They're a privilege, and they're not a right. And if you have a woman in your life, take care of her, do everything you can to please her, and if she leaves, let her leave with grace. And hopefully you was handling your business before and don't have to get back to handling your business. So I was watching Chaos, and I realized there was a couple scenes that really spoke to me, and one of the scenes was about that the biggest way that we men run women off is either with our lack of effort or too much effort. And I don't want to talk about the lack of effort because we all know what that looks like. But too much effort is the needy guy. And women can't deal with a guy who needs them. Unfortunately, we have so much to accomplish and do as men in terms of our own self-esteem and pride, that for whatever reason, we always seem to end up putting most of our focus, if we're the not so smart guy, on making them happy no matter what. To keep the peace, or for whatever it is, to make her happy because we're scared of losing her or whatever. But I tell you what, I don't believe that they want to be our main priority. They don't want that pressure. And so this one is about the solo gentleman. This one is like a 14.5% stout. But we got some other stuff to do, so moving forward in the conversation, I find myself now, as I'm on this path, wanting to do nothing but work and what's the term? I hate to say mind my business because life gives you exactly who you are. But there's a point. Okay, this is what I want to say. The solo gentleman, the proper gentleman, understands, and these are all concepts that I got during the week that I'm just now remembering and trying to put into a video. The first thing is, the proper gentleman understands when he's lost. And you know why that's the hardest thing for a guy to do? It's the hardest thing for a guy to do, to admit when he's lost, because it's a hit on our pride, and it's a hit on our sense of achievement, and that hits at our self-esteem. And the one thing that we can't lose as men is our self-esteem and our pride. Those are the building blocks of who we are. Just like protein or amino acids are the building blocks of protein, your self-esteem is the building blocks of your pride. Your achievements are the building blocks of your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is the building blocks of your pride. Your pride is how you carry yourself as a man. And so the reason that it's hard for us to let go of a losing situation is because we believe that makes us who we are. And it doesn't. It's our recovery from that situation that makes us who we are. And in the situations that we win, the win is just a sign that we've done the right thing. It's not necessarily even a sign that we're that guy. It's just a sign that we made a good choice. Losing and admitting that we lost and admitting that we're in a losing situation takes so much guts and wisdom and clarity as a man. But it's the hardest thing for us to do, especially in a relationship where the relationship is so much of who we are. Like, whether that woman continues to love us or not, whether she continues to believe in us as that man, that takes such a hit on our self-esteem and ego that we can't admit when we're in a losing situation. And being the first to admit that you're losing is the first step to change and being able to either start over or do something different to get a different result. This one is smooth. All Monte Cristos are smooth, first of all. They're not too overbearing. But this one is typically a little bit more robust than I go for. It's more stout than I go for, but it's cool. It's just so smooth. I can't get over the smoothness of the Monte Cristo compared to everything else. Okay, so secondly, just because you're alone doesn't make you a loser. You're not a loser for not having a girlfriend. You're not inadequate because you're over a certain age and you're not married without kids. You're doing okay. Now, what you do with your time is where you, again, gain your achievements, your self-esteem, your sense of pride. Are you maximizing your time properly? Are you taking your rest properly? Are you working out? Are you eating right? And then are you enjoying yourself on top of that? Any relationship that you get in is just a reflection of, you know what? Let me take that back. Any relationship that you find yourself in is always just icing on the cake. It's not a sign that you've made it. It's not a sign that you'll stay. It's not a sign that you're more lovable or more likable. It's not a sign of anything other than you're in such a good place that you're able to maintain everything that you're doing to be a proper gentleman and a woman. Because a woman's going to cost you money. She's going to cost you time. She's going to cost you your energy. Okay? She's going to cost you your attention. Where your attention goes, energy flows. That's why it's not good to ruminate on your problems. It's not good to be stuck in the past. And so that brings us to our third point. The single hardest thing for a guy to get over and move forward in his life is heartbreak. Men do not do well with heartbreak because, first of all, we don't like putting our hearts on the line for anything. We'd rather just work and reap the results of our work. And so when we get involved in something and we don't see that incoming, and this goes back to the first point of being able to recognize when you're losing. It's not to protect your heart necessarily, but you can go ahead and begin to move forward. Guys, when they go through heartbreak, they either will move forward immediately or they'll stay stuck in that moment, ruminating on it, unable to move forward. And so that's where you find yourself wondering where the years went by. Because we got stuck in that moment where our heart got broken. And I was thinking about this week, like all the times where I felt like it was over for me. I was never going to recover from this. I was never going to find someone better. And it takes such a hit, especially if you're a romantic, as a guy. You like being in relationships, you like pleasing women, you like doing, and we make that our goal. And so heartbreak sets us back so hard. And that's why obviously love can be so irrational, but it's also such a powerful substance. In terms of dopamine, side note, I did a pour over today with a Chemex, and I put a filter inside of the Chemex filter. And this is the smoothest coffee I've ever made as a pour over at my house. Usually the pour overs are like okay, but this pour over is so smooth because I did the double filter. Interesting. So one, recognize when you're losing. Two, I know was important, but two, I think is being okay with, being solo. And then three is being able to move on from heartbreak. If you can do those things as a guy, you can always succeed. You will always succeed. You will always move forward. You will always find new opportunities. It's being able to steel ourselves when those things are happening and not steal our hearts, but steal our resolve to keep moving forward, where we can find ourselves winning on the other end again. I think the older we get, the more jaded we get, with the more heartbreaks that we've gotten, the more losses that we've taken, and we end up finding ourselves in a spot where we're like going to take the safest route to avoid any pain. Avoiding pain prevents us from feeling joy. So this is where our strength in the masculine comes to play, because we have to be able to take all of this and keep moving forward. And only those who keep moving forward are the ones who win. It doesn't matter when it happens. I mean, if I told you, if you're 20, and I told you right now that your winning time is going to come in 30 years, would you stop everything that you're doing and just wait for it? If somebody had told me that I was going to win at 50 and I was going to take a bunch of losses before 50, I would have so much hope that, like, okay, I can mess up until 50, and at 50, it's all going to come together. And sometimes that's the way it is. And this is where objectivist ethics, being rational, having pride, independence in your thought, having a sense of integrity, being honest with yourself, taking on those challenges, and being willing to deal with the hard stuff in life with a smile on your face, and not even a smile on your face, but knowing that like it's still going to turn out great in the end. If you can do those things as a guy, that will, like, those things are being a proper gentleman. Anyway, hope that all made sense. Website is, I'm working on the website right now. And that'll be up so that you guys can like read these transcripts and whatnot. That's what I really want, so that you guys can read the transcripts and take the information with you. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for hanging out.